On this edition of Lexington Now, the Good Giving Challenge, recycle your old Christmas lights and upgrades to recycling. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of December 9th, 2024. The Good Giving Challenge happened this past week, and you responded with overwhelming generosity. But just because the challenge is over doesn't mean giving has to be. Here's a look at the challenge kickoff event.
Happy Giving Tuesday! I am Lauren Parsons, Director of Strategic Initiatives and Communications at Bluegrass Community Foundation, and I couldn't be more thrilled to welcome you to the 2024 Philanthro Party, the official kickoff to the 2024 Good Giving Challenge. We are here today to ring in the giving season with plenty of cheer and a big dose of generosity. Each year, the Good Giving Challenge unites us to celebrate and support the incredible local nonprofits that make our community stronger, brighter, and more vibrant. These organizations feed our neighbors in need, help kids thrive, save our furry friends, protect our one-of-a-kind bluegrass landscape, enrich our lives with arts, culture, and connection. The Good Giving Challenge began in 2011 as a partnership between Smiley Pete Publishing and Bluegrass Community Foundation with a simple goal: to make charitable giving easy, accessible, and fun. Over 13 years, this movement has raised nearly $23 million for nonprofits across Central and Appalachia, Kentucky. The 2024 Good Giving Challenge officially launched this morning at 9 a.m. And since then, the giving has already started rolling in with nearly $500,000 raised so far. We could not do it without the incredible support of our sponsors, including Clark County Community Foundation, Murray Foundation, the Outlaw State of Kind Hometown Fund, the Marksberry Family Foundation, the James A. and Martha R. Brown Charitable Foundation, the Thompson R. Bryant Jr. and Betty R. Bryant Fund, Jenna and Matthew Mitchell Family Foundation, Traditional Bank, the Angel Levis Foundation, the Groovolution, Mason Investments, Independence Bank, the Franklin County Community Fund, the Madison County Community Fund, the Woodford County Community Fund, the Edith D. Gardner Charitable Fund, and Bluegrass Community Foundation. Finally, a big thank you to the people who've made today extra special. The BGCF team who works year-round behind the scenes on the Good Giving Challenge. Mayor Linda Gordon, the Lexington Theater Company Carolers, Chef Wita Michael, Mike Hilton, and the Holly Hill team for the delicious cookies and cocoa. I don't know if there's cocoa, but there's cookies. And of course, Santa Claus himself for helping spread holiday cheer.
I miss Santa.
And he got a new suit, y'all.
He does.
Looking good this year. Looking spiffy.
And I'm putting out the challenge to anyone who is able to give. Today is Giving Tuesday, and now is the time to get into the true holiday spirit by giving back. There are plenty of great organizations that need your support. 200 agencies are taking part in this year's Good Giving Challenge. Last year, over $2.5 million was raised during this challenge. Over the past 13 years, it has raised $23 million. Yeah. Pretty good, isn't it? Yes. So this makes me so proud of Kentucky residents who don't hold back when supporting nonprofit work. Congratulations go to Bluegrass Community Foundation and the team at Smiley Pete Publishing, co-sponsors of this Good Giving Challenge. Now therefore, I, Linda Gordon, Mayor of Lexington, do hereby declare December 3rd through the 6th, 2024, Good Giving Challenge Week in Lexington. Yay! Thank you.
The holidays are here, and you probably have come across a pesky strand of lights or two that aren't working anymore. Here's the best and most environmentally friendly way to get rid of them.
If you're decorating for the holidays and you've realized that some of your lights aren't shining anymore, you can bring them to us as part of our Holiday Lights collection drive. Never put holiday lights or other electronics in your blue recycle cart because it can tangle up in the equipment and damage things at the recycle center. We're replacing the baler at the recycling center, so we want to make sure that we keep our new equipment functioning well so that we can recycle efficiently and keep providing as much recycling as we can to Central Kentucky. So we want to make sure that we're getting rid of these things that aren't useful anymore in a way that keeps our recycling equipment safe and functioning well. All year round, you can take holiday lights and other electronics to the Electronics Recycling Center at 1306 Versailles Road. But during the holiday season until January 12th, we have collection bins around town to make it convenient to recycle your holiday lights when you're out and about. You can find locations to drop off the lights at lexingtonky.gov/holiday waste, where you can also find other tips for recycling and reusing this holiday season. For more information about holiday lights recycling or other environmental initiatives in Lexington, you can visit lexingtonky.gov/livegreen or follow us at LiveGreenLex on social media on Facebook and Instagram.
Upgrades to recycling when we come back.
Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany Brown, Equity and Implementation Officer in the Mayor's Office and Chair of the A Sense of Place Committee. I'm here today to talk about A Sense of Place, an initiative dedicated to preserving the history of Lexington's rural Black hamlet and celebrating those that remain active today. More than 20 historic Black hamlets have been identified in Fayette County. Most are located in rural areas. Our historic hamlets have been and are home to generations of lived experiences, traditions, and culture. Houses, churches, schools, grocery stores, agricultural enterprises, and lodge halls for community gatherings were found in many hamlets. A Sense of Place is a partnership between community members with direct connection to our hamlets and the city of Lexington. Its goal is to raise awareness about what the hamlets represent and to identify steps that are needed to take to preserve their history. The A Sense of Place committee includes local historian Yvonne Giles, local historian Calvin Graves, Executive Director of the Lexington History Museum Mandy Higgins, Haydentown resident Dr. Alvin Seals, Haydentown Baptist Church pastor Reverend Leon Slatter, and others. With support from members of the Haydentown community, A Sense of Place is currently raising funds for maintenance updates and programming of the Haydentown Rosenwald School and property located at 705 Hayden Lane. In the early 2000s, members of the Haydentown community worked with the city to preserve the school. In the early 20th century, Rosenwald schools were found across the South, serving rural Black children and families during segregation. Many of the buildings have been destroyed. Lexington is proud that the Haydentown School still stands and wants to preserve the history and significance that so many of these schools have had in our hamlet communities. The funds will complete the restoration of the school and upgrade the historic cemetery and church building. The school will permanently house artifacts that tell the story of Lexington's hamlet. We hope you will join us.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. The recycling center remains closed through December 15th while upgrades are made to equipment. Here's how this may affect you.
We're going to be shutting down the facility in order to do a couple of projects. Whenever we do a shutdown, we want to maximize that shutdown time and get as much done as we can in that time frame. So the baler is the piece of equipment that is at the very end of the line. So we have a lot of agricultural people in our community that bale hay, for example. So this machine actually bales our products using a wire tire. And so those materials get fed into our baler and then dropped down into the machine. And then one of the rams compacts that material inside the baler. And then when it gets to its full limit, then it straps it with the wire, and the other ram ejects that bale out, and then we move it out onto the floor. When we decided to replace our baler, because of the life, it's exceeded its lifespan. So what is normally typically replaced after 10 years, we're on like year 14, I believe. And so it's time to replace that piece of equipment. This baler we've put a lot of money into it, and at this point, that baler, some of the parts are becoming obsolete. So it's really critical that we go ahead and replace it before we just can't replace those parts anymore. And then the second project that we want to focus on is our tent fabric structure recover. And so this tent fabric structure, you can see that it's been patched recently. It's just getting to the point where it's time to replace it, because that's what keeps our products dry before they get into our system. If those materials are wet, especially with all the cardboard and the paper, that can cause jams and clogs in the system and decrease our run time. And so we really want to make that run as efficient as possible. And so that helps keep our products dry so that we can continue operations. We process on an average of about 200 tons of material a day. So that's a lot of material. For example, we ship out roughly 9 loads of cardboard a week. So each load is 20 tons, so 180 tons of cardboard leaves this facility in a week. With that, our paper, we ship out about 40 tons of paper in a week. And our plastics, we ship out 3 to 4 loads of PET in a month. The other plastics, we send 1 load of colored HDPE, which is like your laundry detergents and stuff like that. We send out 1 load of those a month, and then 1 load of milk jugs every month. The reason why it's important in the big picture is because these materials otherwise would go to our landfill. And so landfills are extremely expensive. They cause greenhouse gas emissions, and they take a lot of airspace. And plus, we can reuse these materials. These are materials that are going back out and being reused, which means that they're not being remade, essentially. And so that allows us to decrease our carbon footprint by reusing these products, reduce our greenhouse gas emissions because they're not going to the landfill, and we make a little bit of money back on those products. I appreciate the community's involvement in our recycling program. That's why we're here, because people want to do the right thing, and we just encourage folks. And if you have questions about what's recyclable, what's not recyclable, please don't hesitate to ask. We're always willing to help and share that information to kind of help reduce our contamination rate here at our recycling facility.
With winter quickly approaching, it's the perfect time to talk safety for your pets in the cold. Here's more.
A general rule is if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for them. People think that because they've got fur and double coats, they're more adaptable to the freezing temperatures, and that's just not the case. They can get frostbite just like people can. Their skin can crack, their poor paws can crack. So if it's too cold for you, too cold for them. We recommend not taking them out on long walks during the winter, but we know some of these dogs have to get their energy out. So if you do take them on walks, make sure they are short. A good idea is to rub Vaseline or another vet-approved ointment on their paws so that if they step on the rock salt or if they step on ice, they can be a little more protected. And it might feel silly, it might look a little silly, but you can play dress up with your dogs. You can put a coat on them so when they're outside, they're not shaking and freezing. But keep walks short and make sure to protect their paws. It's a good idea to towel dry them just so you can get all of that rock salt out, or if there's any ice or water that's frozen in between the paws. Towel dry the paws, towel dry them. Make sure you get all that water off of them so it doesn't freeze. And then just get them in a nice cozy bed. So if you do have animals that stay outside, make sure you use organic bedding rather than blankets or beds. Those can get wet and freeze, whereas the organic bedding cannot, so it keeps them a lot safer. They need just as much, if not more, water and food during the winter. They burn a lot of energy trying to stay warm, just like humans do. So make sure they always have fresh water available, and make sure that you're feeding them an appropriate amount. Pets are not gifts. They're living beings that you need to treat as such. It's never a good idea to give anyone a gift that they're not expecting, particularly when it's a living creature. You don't know someone's circumstances, if they're ready for a pet or not. You don't know if they are aware of the breed that you might be giving them. Don't feed your animals people food. They have plenty of treats and appropriate pet food for them. You don't know what will make them sick. You don't know if your pet has any specific allergies, and you certainly don't want to find out around the holidays. But all in all, let common sense prevail. If you wouldn't do it for yourself, don't do it to your animals. Anyone who wants to donate a physical item can go to our wish list, which is on our website. But the biggest need is always going to be a monetary donation. We are a nonprofit. We rely solely on donations, and we are limited on space. So while you think food might be a great donation, which it is, there's only so many places we can put that, but we can put your monetary donation to even better work. So Giving Tuesday, LHS will be out and about all around town. You can find this at Louis' Flower Power, PetSmart in Hamburg, Ramsey's in Masterson Station, Yappy Place in Chevy Chase, West Six Brewing. We'll be there with adoptable animals. We'll be there collecting donations, and everything gets matched up to $50,000 thanks to Nancy Barron and Associates. If anyone has any more questions or just to learn more information about LHS as a whole, they can visit our website at adoptlove.net.
Live meeting coverage is in full swing this week on Lex TV and streaming online. And remember, you can also find the most up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.